Hello everyone, my name is James and I have high functioning autism. Some people call it Asperger's, some people call it level 1 or even level 2 ASD, depending, but it's pretty much all the same thing, just a different name. If you're new to this channel, I make narrative style videos where I talk about autism. I also make videos like this where you see me and I talk about myself, about my experiences as a person on the autism spectrum. As a human being, we all want to reach our fullest potential. And it is my ultimate aim to help people do that when I create these videos. So let's spread our wings by hearing the advantages about being on the autism spectrum and why I am so personally thankful to have this condition in spite of the many challenges it can bring in my life. Not everyone with ASD has terrible lives. Many individuals are happy and very blessed with this condition in spite of what they may say at a given moment of time when they feel overwhelmed and when they share their feelings on different online groups or YouTube comment sections. Well, I just want to let you know I've had my fair share of struggles too. I felt very different when I was young and I often struggled in accepting it. I had a full-time aide when I was in elementary school. I struggled with socializing, trying to pass classes in school, college, and finding a good paying job. I had trouble finding out what my purpose was. I felt hopeless. I had trouble recovering from emotional trauma and my fair share of burns when finding a girlfriend. I struggle with managing emotions. I've learned a lot of helpful tips and I've shared many of them on recent videos. If you're interested, please check them out. However, this isn't to say that I've had my times where I have felt depressed. I've had my constant struggles of feeling hopeless in the works. I struggled really hard in college, but ended up dropping out of engineering school with almost $100,000 in student debt. I managed to get 2 degrees in other schools, but couldn't use them to find a job because the career path I chose was tough when it came to finding actual jobs. I've been into dark places trying to push myself through hard experiences that I thought could eventually benefit me, but ended up causing trauma and things that could trigger them. I've had triggers that I dealt with from past traumatic experiences that were at least 20 different times in my life where I literally thought I was going to die, and had many friends who didn't even realize they were even helping me getting through them. And I also have my obsessives to thank me too, to help distract my mind. I avoid walking in my own living room and I got sciatica for forcing myself to sleep in a certain way every night in bed so I can avoid looking at objects in my room that could trigger bad memories. I struggle with OCD, push myself to try to overcome these things. I struggled with burnouts and still had to push myself through full-time work. I was never able to get on disability to help me through the hardest time instead of push myself through it. This can all be a hard thing that many people on the spectrum experience, and I'm pretty sure you cannot deny the fact that what I experienced was very hard. Well, I'm going to ask you a question. With all these struggles I faced, probably a lot of contributing to my ASD, do you think I'm happy to have ASD? Well, to answer this, I am going to say I wouldn't have it any other way. If I was given the opportunity to go back in my life and relive it in another way, I would not go back even if someone paid me $1 million. I would even do it if someone paid me $1 trillion, maybe even an infinite amount of dollars. Now you might wonder, why do you feel this way, James? A lot of what you experience doesn't sound fun. Well, I will give you a list of reasons and I will warn you in advance, this is probably going to be another long video, but please grab some popcorn and give this video a listen if you believe ASD can be a curse in your life, because I will tell you strongly, I believe the advantages far, far outweigh all the disadvantages you can ever think of. One thing I love about ASD is I love being different. I used to fear that people would think I was different, but now I think it's one of the most amazing ways to enjoy life. I am now realizing being different is one of the top qualities a human being can have in this world. Some people may act like they don't accept people who are weird, but deep down, it is something that is well respected. We wouldn't be watching movies and reading books if characters weren't unique. Being unique is what creates innovation like new things. I've watched several documentaries about Thomas Edison, and there is no doubt in my mind he has ASD, as well as other people like Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, Beethoven, Mozart, Albert Einstein, and even Eminem said he had it in some of his songs. If you're like most people, you may want to fit in society, but how fun is that? Would you want to look back in your life when you're older and realize you fit in, or someone who made an impact in this world and changed many lives and perspectives and was remembered without even having to try. This is our gift, one of our God-given strengths. We can make people laugh, inspire, and think of new ideas without even trying. Even our mistakes cause people to realize things for the better. I look back at times where I thought or did or said the most inappropriate things on accident, but then I look back now and I'm shocked to realize how perfect the timing was, that nothing in the world could have made that situation more perfect. Now with Facebook, YouTube, and other social media, we have more opportunity than ever to embrace our unique selves and inspire the world without having to do anything but be ourselves. We appreciate what's different, and people deep down appreciate that too, even if they act like it's the wrong thing to do. We have the perspective others are just dying to grab hold of and look at the world through with our practically born innate tool built right within us. Another thing I love about having ASD is that we are creative. I already talked about how we naturally have a unique perspective on things. However, this is just a perfect way for the constant birth of creativity. Many people struggle with creativity. Many CEOs wish they could be more creative and then use a lot of their budget hiring other people to help them create new ideas. However, we are natural born creators and innovators. We don't even have to try, but just be us. Now we have a way where we can express our creative in the world so easily through social media, blogs, and YouTube. Now we have more ways to just have fun, and we can benefit the world for it. Honestly, I feel like if we just spent our entire lives doing creative things from our creative, unique abilities and show the world, we would live a happy, enjoyable, fulfilling life. Another thing I love about having ASD is that the label actually helps us instead of limits us. You might be wondering, what? The label? The label may cause people to judge us, yes, but on the other side of the coin, that judgment can help us get away with things too, like being ourselves. Maybe people say that having an ASD label makes it harder for us to be ourselves and feel like we have to mask. But in reality, this label has caused people to already assume we are already different, which means that being different in any kind of way can already be expected. We may be afraid to take our masks off, but we are already safe to do so. It is actually harder for NTs to take off their masks because society expects them to act a certain way. We actually are off the hook. Just tell a person you're on the autism spectrum and you're free to be accepted and act yourself in any way you like, in a way that may be considered different, and other people will automatically be accepted to it because they'll know you have ASD. Imagine someone doing something so weird that it was so funny that people will remember it for the rest of their lives. A normal person might feel more hesitant in doing that, but if you have ASD, people will accept it more, appreciate what you did more for what it is. They'll laugh and admire you. The fact that they admire you might be helped by the fact that they know you have ASD, and in truth, they are really admiring you. Your ASD label has given them the opportunity to appreciate you for who you really are without society's constructs getting in the way. So everyone who has ASD, stop worrying about trying to fit in. You don't have to do anything. You're already there. You are already at a place where you can 100% be yourself and accepted. So have fun. Do what you always wanted to do and enjoy every minute of it. Another thing I love about being on the autism spectrum is that the autism spectrum is actually beautiful. Get rid of that belief that autism is a dirty thing, a thing to be ashamed of, something ugly, or something to try to hide. Let's peel away that false stigma and see the truth underneath. It makes people look beautiful. It makes people act beautiful. It makes people attractive, irresistible, and lovable. If you doubt me, watch any YouTuber on the spectrum and tell me if any of them aren't good looking. You might be asking, well, social awkwardness isn't beautiful. Well, let me debunk that myth too. Our awkward behavior is actually adorable. Tell me when you haven't seen someone who truly loves and cares about you for who you really are and has giggled and laughed whenever you did something that was kindly awkward. There's a reason why. You take life seriously. You want to do the right thing. You are determined, and that's the most attractive thing you could ever find in a human being on this planet once you ditch that false construct. If this wasn't the case, do you think people on the spectrum would be getting married, having families, and passing their genes from one generation to another in the past centuries? Every social struggle, challenge we face, and our determination to get through it, even if we keep failing in the process, is what makes our body radiant with beauty. Our weirdness is probably what makes us even more attractive. Our nerdiness, our obsessive compulsive behaviors on what we love are in truth one of the biggest qualities that make us attractive. Lastly, I want to say that the positives about having ASD brought me experiences that were so enjoyable. I would never give them up for anything for the world to do something different. Because in truth, I have ASD to thank for my best moments. Many people with ASD have obsessions that bring them a lot of joy. Many chime in and say, they are weird. You should focus on something else, find other interests, and live a more balanced life. Well, I've read many books about living a balanced life. If you want, I could recommend some books if you're interested. Well, I practiced that for many years, and it is good advice. However, I found for us, our obsessions is a unique exception. Our obsessions deserve the bigger slice of the pie in our life. I want to say we are so lucky to have our obsessions. If you've been told your obsessions are unhealthy and waste of time, please do not stop embracing them. It makes me so sad when I see people in groups talking about how they are depressed and wish they didn't struggle with ASD, when in reality, we have one of the biggest gifts anyone in the world could ever dream to have. If they understood how happy one of our obsessions could actually make us, people would be blown away. Let's stop and take a second. Let's think about the last time you've delved into one of your obsessions and how you sheerly enjoyed that obsession. Think about the peak moment of your most enjoyable moment you felt, and think about how enjoyable you were experiencing it. Did you want to stop? Did you think there was other reasons you continue with it? Well, maybe the answer is simple. Maybe it was because it was so darn enjoyable. Like, duh. Wouldn't you want to embrace it? Wouldn't you want to continue to focus on it? Do you think NTs would do the same thing if they really enjoyed something at the level we do? I would put $1 million on the table to bet you that they would probably do the same thing if they experienced the amount of joy that they did, if they had an obsession like the way we did. Many people spend all their lives accomplishing dreams. Some people spend several years saving up for trips, flying to other countries to climb Mount Everest. However, I feel like the joy we have from our obsessions is like being on top of Mount Everest. Oh, and if you doubt me, try to spend just 1 week trying to not do anything even closely related to your obsession. Try not to think about it at all. Try to do that for 1 week. Then tell me if that wasn't hard. Tell me when you're done fasting on not trying to focus on your obsession, tell me you didn't want to experience that more than anything. We are lucky to have this, and it could be something that we can use to make our lives fulfilling in ways that many people would move mountains to get to. Well, I've shared many reasons why I love having ASD, and I wouldn't have it any other way in spite of the many struggles. This is not a complete list, obviously, and there are many more reasons I could also talk about, but I don't want to make this video longer than it already has. If you want me to post more reasons, I could always make another video. But for now, if you want to share more reasons that you feel make ASD enjoyable, please share them on the comments below. Also, if you have any other questions about me or any other ideas of future topics, please share them in the comments below. Well, I hope you found this video helpful, well, at least inspiring. Please stay healthy, safe, informed, embrace your interests, embrace your unique form of ASD, and most importantly, love yourself. Thank you for watching and have a wonderful day.